Today I'll be reflecting our Scouting America project for our marketing 420 and 321 classes. So my agenda is going to be talk about what worked, my experience through it, the lessons that I've learned, any challenges and solutions that I found, and then my total funds raised. So what worked was being really personal with everybody, every single call, whether it was somebody who worked for a sports team or if they were working at a bank, it was learning a little bit more about them, learning a little bit about their company, going from there to have a conversation with them first. And then sometimes I would just have a conversation with them and then hang up the phone and then call them back a few days later, talk to them a little bit more, and then have the idea of them donating to Scouting America, the foundation, brought up. So it was having a foundation where it was we were personal, we had a connection before I actually brought up the idea of them donating. So I didn't really do any initial contact with it with the donating part of things until we had a few conversations, unless they had asked about it previously due to original email outreach. And then another big thing that helped was following up. Following up like afterwards, after we had the meeting the first couple times, was like I said, was calling back. Or if they said no originally, or if they said yes originally, would be following back up with them a few days later and just reminding them that I had a great time talking to them the other day and that I would love if they could donate. And they would mostly either just get back to me and say they completely forgot to donate and they're going to get on it now, or they had gotten busy and are going to go do it now. So that was something that was really beneficial towards getting our full donation amount. And then, like I said, creating that connection to have them to be able to go back to them and say, hey, I know we talked about it. You said you were interested in donating. I'd love, I saw that you haven't been able to get to that yet. Would you be able to have any time today to do that? And that really helped and to create that connection for them to come back and be like, oh, this is important. My experience was with my internship, it's very hands-on and needy, so I had a lot of struggle finding time to actually get it done. So I did my emailing normally like later at night to be scheduled to be sent first thing in the morning so that my prospects would be able to find or get the emails first thing. I could get a reply first thing in the morning when I had time to get on the phone with them or just reply to emails. Or I would just call people first thing in the morning when whether I was getting ready for my day or they were getting ready for their day, just because there's a higher chance of them having a couple minutes to talk on the phone rather than calling them in the middle of the day when they could have meetings the same way that I did. And then it was once I started, everything went pretty smoothly, getting donations, and then having an opportunity to follow up with people to remind them about the foundation, and then getting the donations, and then sending them a thank you message later on, just thanking everybody that I met with. To thanks for taking the time out of their day to meet with me. And then a few lessons that I learned was be personal. It's something that I had experience doing previously, just because working in the world of sports is that's all it is, especially with what I want to do. And creating those relationships outside of just a business is learning about them and just trying to have a friendly conversation. And then being impatient, that's something that I struggled with at the beginning was just trying to get all of the initial email outreach done just because I didn't have a lot of time. And then as the semester slowly went on and on, I was able to find a little bit more time here and there to do a little bit more outreach and a little bit more like cold calling. And I also learned that this is not the type of sales that I want to do. It's not something that I want to sit around do and cold call every day. What I've been doing with my sports agency internship is a little bit different, where I'm creating brand deals rather than going out and asking for money. And then challenges and solutions there, it's something that I've already hinted at. Challenges, people saying they're going to donate and they don't. It's just following up with them, reminding them, like, hey, I know we had this conversation not too long ago. I'd love for you to have the opportunity to come in and donate. The donation page is still open. And then again, same thing I mentioned earlier is finding the time with my internships. It's very hands on. I'm doing more there than I am with school just because it's a 24/7 type of job. And then my final thing I struggle with, which I've also already mentioned, was getting people on the phone. Most of the time, if you call people during the day, they're not going to be able to respond simply because they have other meetings or they're on the road. So calling them the first thing in the morning or sending an email later at night so that they see it was really beneficial to me, especially because it's something that I learned through my internship previously. My total funds raised, I raised my full $350 donation amount, and my sales team also raised three-fourths of us, or three out of four of us, raised our $350, if not more as well. And only one person didn't reach the full quota, but we, as a team, reached over our full quota. Thank you.